What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan Aranda here, my best life Paraguay. And today, I don't really have a true topic otherwise, besides giving some updates, explaining kind of why I've been gone. Gone meaning I haven't put a video out there in a week and a half. And then before that, I did a couple, but then I took like a 2 week break before that. And there's just a lot going on. Before I get into all that, um, I have to do this, you guys. For those who are have followed me, my apologies. But for those who are new to the channel, I'm Ryan Aranda. I was born here in Paraguay, grew up in the United States of America, was adopted here at 2 years old, and I came back to know my biological family in 2012, 13 years ago now, and I visited ever since. Fell in love with the country, and I moved here back in July of last year, 2024. So 15, 16 months here abroad, a year and 3 or 4 months. So that's long story short. Okay, now I'm gonna keep moving on now. For those who have heard me say that plenty of times, but I have to because I do get a lot of new people to the channel. This is growing time for the channel, which I'll get into that, right. Um, but yeah, I guess besides giving some light updates, I'll just explain kind of my absence, why I haven't been so consistent, and also just some internal stuff. And am I kind of burnt out overall? And I guess the answer is sort of. I'm sort of burnt out, right? Juggling a lot, you know. I got my virtual 9 to 5. I also obviously have this YouTube channel, and I have my family down here as well. So that's the whole other layer on top, that us guys who pretty much repatriate back to our countries of origins, whether you're in my position or a similar or a different kind of position where maybe you don't have direct family like siblings and that stuff, but you might have like cousins, uncles, aunts, that kind of thing, right? It's a little bit different for those who go to their countries of origin who have families, because you have a responsibility to see them, attend events, that kind of thing. You're not completely 100%, uh, I guess, free to do whatever you want. Yes, you can say no to some of these things, but uh, an important date, so you got to be there. You know, that's just how Latin America is. And again, I'm not complaining about it, but it's just another layer to some of the responsibilities I have. Me being me having siblings, nieces, nephews, extended family down here. Um, and staying in contact with people back in the States as well. I'm not too consistent on that, to be completely honest. But when I do, I try to, keep it honest with friends, family back home. Have good conversations when I can, all that good stuff. But anyways, so I'm not trying to make this a complaining video. I'm just trying to keep it honest to like what it feels like to be gone so long and haven't seen your family and friends, right? And again, for those who don't know, I will actually be seeing my parents here in a handful of months, couple months. Going to be meeting up in Panama, right? Uh, for a little bit over a week, so that'll be good for the channel for filming and comparing countries. It'll be really cool. Okay, so yeah, man, but it's hard, right? And so, first aspect I'll break down. I'll get back into the family thing, but first is this YouTube stuff, right? This YouTube stuff. See, the thing is I was going down a path that kind of stressed me out about what do you guys want to see, what do you guys want this channel to be? What does the algorithm want this channel to be to grow? Because I would like to make this, down the line, no matter how long it takes. My primary uh, way of sustaining myself. And again, it's a long journey. It took 2 years to even just get to this point, right? And so when you're a YouTuber, you kind of find yourself, especially when you get more people following you, and then you get suggestions from them as well. Oh, Ryan, you should do this. You should cover this and this and this, and they are good suggestions for sure. And I do want to get to literally everything, right? And then it's even like things like prioritizing things that I filmed. What should I show? What should I show first? Is this interested? I don't know. Or I know that this video will do better, but it takes way more time. And you know, when I'm on the computer way too much, I get stressed out. Because I'm already working virtually for a good full day. And then on top of that, I have to add in anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on top of that, even for a pretty basic video, right? Especially with B-roll and all that stuff. It can really add up, to be honest. For those who don't see, I use Premiere Pro, uh, and then also the YouTube Studio stuff. When you upload, you have to write a description. You have to put in hashtags. You have to make a thumbnail. And my thumbnails are all created by me, and they're not. Some of my thumbnails are not very always simple, right? I've made a lot of templates for my videos now, so that the editing goes a little bit faster than the beginning. I also know how to use my tools a little bit better, including like this microphone I have. Um, I know kind of how to mix better with sound quality, even though I don't always do the best. And it really kind of gets distorted if I'm doing interviews and one mic is off or one mic is going in and out and doesn't sound better. Then I have to use AI, but then AI uh, kind of screws with it all. Anyways, the reason I'm explaining all this technical, maybe boring stuff for you guys is so you guys understand what it takes to make a video. Even right here, I had to prop it up. It took me a good 5 minutes to line this camera up so it's looking at me, and then make sure my mic is all ready to go, so I don't have to switch out halfway through and come back to the video and cut it up. And hopefully this mic is completely charged for the rest of this time, right? Um, but the point is, I want to make is I'm not really gonna care anymore, you guys, what the algorithm wants. I'll take your guys' suggestions, right? Because you guys are real people, and I can't say that I'll get to all of them. Places you want me to go, topics you want me to cover, I'll try, right? But I think I'm gonna make this more just about my life, man. And I hope that resonates with you guys. And I know it did in the beginning and the middle and now, or whatever point I guess I'm at now with all this YouTube stuff in the timeline, Uh, but I'm gonna do more stuff, just talking openly, man, because it started to exhaust me mentally, like um, when when I have to put together these very planned projects and whatnot, and then again on the editing on top of that, and all that. Right? So I'm just gonna kind of bring it back to the beginning of my channel. And not only that, but now I've touched like pretty much every single topic I possibly can, uh, which kind of separates me, I think. Whether it be kind of controversial stuff politically, dating stuff that is, I guess, controversial too in the West, versus other countries like where I'm from, wherever. My own thoughts about stuff, I'm sure that there are people who don't agree with me all the time. Um, and also, you guys gotta understand too that I'm changing in real time as well. You know, there's certain ways I felt maybe 2 years ago that have changed till now. So you guys can kind of see that, who those who have followed me since the beginning. And yeah, I think I'm gonna just go back to just going for it. Click record like right now. Again, it's not like every single video is gonna be unplanned. I will have footage. I will have I like these top 12 videos I'm actually doing. Those are fun, but even those, I'm like, well, I got a list and prioritize that list and make sure it flows and this topic flows into that and you know, uh, and I can't make it too long, so I really gotta hone in and make it as short as possible to line up with from the sweet spot, like 12 to 20 minutes on YouTube. And those are long videos. And if I go longer than that, which I'm doing right now, I'm sure, uh, then YouTube's going to suppress it a little bit. Uh, and not only that, but you need a good thumbnail. And then I have to look at the AI review of my thumbnail. And it said my thumbnail sucked. I got to go back to it. Uh, Damn, do I need to bring shorts in? Shorts is a whole nother thing that I have to cut up after the video, and I really don't like doing shorts too much. Um, and then there's all this debate about shorts. Is it going to destroy your channel? Is it going to help your channel? Like there's a lot of things in YouTube, man. That if you want to do YouTube quote unquote right correctly, whatever that means, uh, there's a lot of things to consider, right? And again, my channel has grown pretty slow, but that's okay because I know that there are real people who watch my channel, right? And so that's the whole YouTube part of it. Okay. Now, now I'm gonna get a little bit into my personal life, right? That I kind of touched on right before this YouTube stuff, but the personal stuff in life uh, that's going on. Well, some of it, I really haven't even spoken about in like a year. So, for example, 1 year ago, I found out that I have a twin, right? Here in Paraguay, a biological twin, right? And I completely suppressed that. I didn't have the time, energy, money, or willpower to go down this whole investigative path and route and all that stuff. Um, but whenever I come to this time of year, I get reminded of a lot of things, man. Because in the States, this time of year was really hard for me. Like the October going into November, um, twice over, I'd had really bad mental health issues. Uh, you know, and especially the fall season going into the winter. It's not just me; it's actually like proven that it's gonna be a very hard time. Like right before the holidays, there's a lot of stress and stressors and stuff going on. Like you really reevaluate your life every year. Oh shoot! Like who's coming to Christmas? Am I even good with my girlfriend? Am I good with my family? Am I good with myself? I'm having a lot of those thoughts again, and I took even it's been 12 days since I've done a real video, and so I had a lot of these uh, thoughts come about, and so there's some deep questions that I'm trying to answer and put on a timeline in my life, like if I want to touch on these things, if I want to go down this investigative path, which I've done to already find my family once, but there's others of us out there, other siblings, right? And you guys may not know either, because I haven't talked about it in probably a good year or so. That I don't talk to my biological mother down here, right? And one of my family members the other day just casually brought it up, like, oh, they refer to my mother as tia, right? Their aunt, but it's my mother, biological, or first mother, I should say. After interviewing Dr. Liz DeBetta. Anyways, but I have some of these hard questions that yeah, she's getting older, and I have been here 15 months. Should I see her? Right? And then again, I'm trying to do a lot at once. you know, improve at the job, keep this YouTube channel going, but not just going, but still quality, you know, and still real. There's some things you guys have probably noticed I don't talk about as much, like things like dating, my personal life. Well, number one, there's not much to talk about. Actually, there kind of is. I could actually get into a little bit to it. Uh, but I guess the super long or super, long story short, there's a couple girls I'm seeing. One more primarily, but a couple. Let's just put it that way. Um, but on a serious note with women, it's like what I was actually going to bring up in the very beginning. A serious note when it comes to women is like a lot of foreigners have in their mind, oh, I'm going to move abroad and I'll have a wife within a year, and she's going to be wonderful and it's going to be rainbows and sunshine and everything's going to be absolutely awesome, and sometimes that does happen for some of you guys, right? And for some of us, we're just really on our grind, like I am now. Like I don't have time for that to be going out and dates and all that stuff. Like I kind of did in the beginning when I came here. I'm more just on my daily grind, uh, and growth, you know, and getting better at the things I'm doing. So this is not the time for me to wife up a girl, have kids. You know what I mean? That can wait. Uh, that can wait months and years if it needs to. But also coming to terms with that, like, dang, this would be ideal. I mean, it would have been ideal years ago, but I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm not going to be on other people's timelines or society's timelines. I mean, I already screwed that up. you know, like ideally, I probably should have been married by my mid 20s with the girl I was with, which would have been a terrible idea. But you know what I mean? Like, I already screwed up society's timeline. So now it's just like at this point, I'm just like, whatever. Anyways, but getting back to my family, right? I went off the tangent with women, but getting back to my family. So, like I said, I do have a biological mother that, like, a family member brought up. Oh, she's out in this town here in Paraguay. Maybe you should go see her. And immediately my mind went to hell no. I'm not going to. A very toxic woman. Um, I know that family wouldn't even like me to say that, but it's true, man. It's my testimony, so they can think about her as however they want. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to keep it real with myself and with you guys, what the situation is, right? No disrespect, but it just is how it is. Um, there's also another sibling that I haven't seen since the day I've arrived, and that's a little bit. I can't talk about that uh, in any detail, right? Because it's complicated stuff. But then, like I said, there's also other siblings of mine, right? And as we're getting older, I feel like it's kind of how I felt when I was 20 years old. That if I don't do this at some point, kind of soon, it's never going to happen, right? And I have some of those same feelings coming up with, should I go down this investigative route to try to find my twin brother? We also have a younger sister. Should I do the same for that? What is that going to mean responsibility wise once I meet them? Are they going to want to get together and reunite and do things? And like, because y'all got to understand, man, Hollywood makes all this shit seem like it's fucking, yeah, a movie, right? But it's not that easy, man. Like, you can have some real feeling. They're not like necessarily me, but even on my end, I guess sometimes like resentment, um, jealousy. Especially for my situation, like, oh, you grew up in the States, it must have been awesome. You know what I mean? It's like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, yeah, there's certain things. Yeah, I'm blessed for some opportunities here and there, and to have grown up in the family I did. But societally, wasn't that awesome at all times, right? It's very tribal in the states. It's very lifetime to try to earn respect, from your peoples, and then coming here and then going through that process again and never belonging anywhere. If you guys want, actually, you guys should. Who's ever interested in deep adoption, I just interviewed Dr. Liz DeBetta. It was a wonderful conversation, you guys. I know that it has nothing to do with the travel stuff. It has more to do with adoption, reuniting, how to deal with adoptee at all ages and stuff. But it was a great conversation, right? Um, because I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of these travel conversations, passport bro conversations, moving abroad. What are the pros and the cons? They're kind of getting old. Now I know that's super ironic for me to say, right? Um, because I'm in this space. I do talk about the pros and the cons and that kind of stuff, right? And but like I don't watch that stuff. I just live it and then just give you my experiences. Like I'm not picking up and other people's talking points. I just live my life and then I'll just talk about what I'm living, right? I don't need to pick up other people's. What I'm trying to say is I don't need to watch all the YouTube videos about how Asuncion is so awesome because I'm living it in my own way, right? And I would say probably 80% of expats kind of live the same version and they're living well, very well. I mean, these neighborhoods that the expat bubble that Paul from Plan B always puts up on his Instagram and Twitter. That expat bubble, those neighborhoods are nice, man. They're really really nice, right? Um, but my neighborhood is nice too in San Lorenzo, and I got a soccer field right in front, and my dog has more space, and you know, my move is permanent, 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 right? And I brought my dog here, and he ain't going back to the states, right? Even if I had to for 6 months or a year or something at some point, hopefully that doesn't happen. But um, my life is a little bit different, man. And then not only that, but I've always tried to live strategically closer to my family in Capiatá, which is farther out than most of you guys want to travel to, even though it's only like 40 minutes away. But a lot of you guys wouldn't even want to meet up with me in Capiatá, let alone San Lorenzo. Well, actually, some of you guys come to San Lorenzo to see what it's about. Uh, those who really follow me and want to meet me and all that. Um, but yeah, I didn't want to even if I would have picked the high rise route, which I've lived in apartments my whole life. I was like, yeah, let's at least get in the duplex, which is what I did the last year, and then now in a house, right? And I have all this space, and it's wonderful. It's a good feeling. I mean, this is something I couldn't have pulled off for years. Even renting a house in the states, uh, I couldn't pull it off alone, and I wasn't willing to get into another relationship that statistically is proven to fail either in the states. So this whole house situation that I have renting for under $400 a month, even when the dollar took a hit, is still under 400 a month. Um, like I said, I would move this camera around and show you guys like even just the 360, but I can't because I have to put it right back. But you guys can go check out my house video. And actually now it's actually very well put together and clean. And maybe this weekend I'll do a walkthrough. I don't know. I always say that. So to show you where you guys can buy stuff and point out furniture and say where I got it from, that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, man. So getting back, God, I always go on tangents. But getting back to the whole family thing, uh, I don't know where I'm at, man. Uh, damn. Yeah, I'm getting a little emotional, man. My bad. But I don't know where I'm at with it. Um, but I do know where I'm at with my family in the states, and I miss them dearly. And I'm gonna see my parents in a couple months here, and that'll heal me a lot, right? Uh, but the family stuff down here is complicated, to say the very least, right? It's very complicated. And to touch on the why, like you guys can go watch videos I've explained this stuff about. Um, my biological mother, kept all this stuff a secret, which is why at 33 years old last year, and I'm 34 now. 33 years old last year. Imagine yourself finding out that you have a twin. Seriously, just imagine it, right? Um, and it was confirmed by multiple family members of mine. Uh, so it's I mean, it's almost so unreal. This is exactly why I push it to the side, because I'm like, I can't deal with this stuff. I already got siblings that I that I do know, that one I talk to and another one I don't down here. I'm perfectly fine with my siblings in the states. I'm not, just to clarify that, right? Um, but it's hard, man. It's hard to and you know why? You know why? It's because of who I am. I've always been a uniter of people. This one thing that, I fucked up a lot of shit in life, but one thing that I've always done well is bring people together. That's one thing I'm pretty decent at. you know, I've had to learn a lot of other stuff along the way, skills, talents I've tried to perfect, maybe not perfect, but get a lot better at stuff, self-taught stuff, all that stuff. But one thing that I've actually been decent at pretty consistently is bringing people together. Um, Now virtually with this channel, uh, you know, to try to be a decent ambassador of my country. And again, I know that you know you may not look at me as a full representative of my country because I didn't grow up here, but at the same time, I do have my links here, my history here, and I am from here, man. Like well, actually, here that on a deep level, when our holidays pass here in the in Paraguay, I mean, I really look into the history of those, and some of them really affect me. Right? It's because every single Paraguayan knows somebody in the Guerra del Chaco. It was a horrific war in the 1930s. It was the same time the Spanish Civil War went on. We were invaded, right? And every single one of us had family members who fought in that war, right? And then the even worse war, we actually won that war, but the even worse war was the Triple Alliance War. So when you learn about some of these horrific battles and you know that you had family that died, men that perished, women who had to, if they didn't die, they rebuilt the country, so there's some really, Paraguay is the most, arguably Paraguay is one of the most scarred countries on earth when it comes to history. It was a genocide. Like what's going on in Gaza now, is pretty much what here in history. And you know, uh, it may sound kind of weird to you guys, but for Paraguayans, like it's represented in our songs, in our history, in our monuments. Whenever you go to any small town, there's going to be some war monument, to the either to a general or fallen soldiers. Especially when you guys go to Cacupe, when you guys walk down to the smaller church, please go visit the war memorial there. It's pretty much equivalent to the Vietnam War Memorial. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my go watch my video where I was with Simon and Kakupe. It's a powerful place, right? And the history of Kakupe also is pretty powerful as well, right? All the way back to the Jesuits and the missionaries and all that stuff as well, right? So, but that stuff just sticks in your DNA. That's what I'm trying to say as Paraguayans. And for so leading into that is why do I embrace this channel so much? Why am I inviting Westerners to the country? Because not everybody thinks the way I do. Some people love to gatekeep, and I can understand where they're coming from. Paraguay's a beautiful place. We have beautiful women here, beautiful, gorgeous women here. I can understand why they want to gatekeep certain neighborhoods, the women. But I try to look at it as a bigger picture of no, we need to restore Paraguay to greatness, not in the stupid way that Trump says about U.S. greatness or whatever. Not that stupid way, not that obnoxious way. I mean, having Paraguay be a place on the map that's desirable, not just for digital nomads who want to move, but even for visiting. I'm yes, and I understand some of the I guess the bad parts of that are immediately you guys well, gentrification. It's like you guys got to understand. I'm talking to a Western audience. There's a reason this channel I'm speaking in English. Westerners are not English speaking Westerners are not the primary foreigners here. It's Brazilians, it's Argentinians, it's even Spaniards, it's other South Americans, Central Americans, and we're like, as if you were to put English speaking Westerners as a whole, as a collective, we'd still be in like fifth place. So like, yeah, we may have loud voices. We may it may be more of an impactful experience because there's more of a culture change coming from an English speaking Western country, something like that. But don't blame it on yourself. Like, oh, am I as an individual buying a condo here? Am I contributing to the gentrification? The only thing I will say though about that, do not let them gringo price you. You need to ask locals, what would you pay for this? Okay, because if you accept the first thing that if especially if it's outrageous stuff like 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700,000, $1 million for a fucking condo here, you're out of your fucking mind, you guys. You need to ask locals. Don't no. You certainly need a local by your side to see what they would pay. Somebody who actually kind of understands the market, right? Who actually looks into this stuff, because some of you guys are already getting gringo priced, right? So hold off for a second. Make sure it's true value, and some things are worth the money, right? But I know for a fact that it's starting to happen in the last year since I've been here, right? Because I see some outrageous price. I'm like, get out of here. That can't be more than 200 tops, and they're asking 500. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I'll say about that. And then again, that's me looking out for you guys. Okay. And again, I know that you may have come from the West. You're a boomer. You're sitting on a great fucking something that we don't have, like pension or something shit like that. Maybe you're an older Gen Xer, and you have a $500,000 house with equity or some shit that you're able to sell tomorrow, and then you just go buy something because it seems like a good price to you. Look into it. Sit on it. There's a lot of these fucking condos popping up. Or whatever, houses, whatever. Doesn't matter. Um, get a local's advice, right? For true pricing. Okay. Um, anyways, I know that was another tangent, but going back again to the main reason I bring that up is that I like inviting people from around the world to come here. You guys are benefiting the country. I don't believe in the other mindset where you guys are destroying the country. Now, again, I guess the one caveat I will say is that of what happened with Vitali in the Philippines, laws are literally changing. Now, again, that's more for vloggers and travelers, but even people like myself who permanently move, that'd be greatly impactful for things like filming in public, that kind of thing. Look what happened in Kenya. A really idiotic fucking man named Jay Rello, a total moron, went to Kenya and did horrific things to women, right? And now there's a lot of animosity towards Black Americans in Kenya, right? And I've always said, something like that could happen here, and that's exactly why I'll be the first to call it out, at least for the English speaking channels, right? Because I don't just introduce you guys or interview people for the fluff of or for the feel goods of moving to Paraguay. Yeah, I'll do that sometimes for sure, especially if I like other YouTubers. Like I just had Alex on, for example. It was a great conversation. I'll do that. We'll get into the goods and some of the negatives and all that kind of stuff, but I'll call out bad behavior, man. And like again, I have my fun too. I go out, I drink and all that stuff. I met some of you guys out there, but I'm talking about like people who insult the country, like or people who insult the entire block of women of our country, and call them all pay for play girls or something like that when they only spent a little bit of time in a very specific place where that kind of girl is going to be. But then they're pretending like the rest of the entire 7 million people plus in the country are like that as well. It's not true. In fact, we're one of the last uh, truly Christian nations on earth, right? I mean, we're just as Catholic as the fucking Vatican City, damn near. Um, you know, so for all you Christian value people, whether you're faking it or whether you're real about it, hopefully you're real about it. And don't just go to degeneracy. If you're a Christian, try to be a Christian, man. You know, like I understand the desire for quick thrills. I totally get that, but y'all need to understand, man, that like quick thrills is it ain't shit when you're actually living abroad. Like for example, I haven't had a girl over for 5 days, right? Now it's because I'm just been busy. I've just been doing my thing. I've been working on projects here at the house, right? Um, and obviously working and other behind the scenes stuff with this, uh, cleaning out my laptop, all that stuff. And uh, when I mean that, I mean like deleting old videos for storage purposes and all that kind of stuff, boring stuff, right? Spreadsheets, bills, financial planning, all that kind of stuff, right? So you know, but it's good to have times where you're alone. It can feel lonely, but it's kind of necessary. And that's exactly why I've had time to self reflect for a little bit. Right? I'm not doing everything right, man. I'm not. Right? I'm doing a couple things wrong. No, more than a couple things. Right? So I'm not perfect. Um, Again, the last thing I'll say about obviously what I'm talking about is I don't care what y'all do, man, in private. I really don't. But if people have big voices online and they come with disrespect, there's even one Paraguayan who's disrespecting the people right now. He's all fucking flashing. I didn't even realize this until somebody else posted it. He's all fucking flashing his cash and shit. I'm not even gonna bring up his name because I know that some of y'all know him. He's just like fitness influencer dude. Kind of a fucking weirdo, He's in his 40s and he's all flashing cash and like acting like a big old like fucking douchebag and stuff. And when majority country makes minimum wage, and he's just throwing it in people's faces, pretty much making fun of them. And like I said, majority of people here, including family members of mine, make minimum wage or average wage, which is pretty much minimum wage. And I don't like people who make fun of people, right? I know that a lot of y'all have kind of a bully complex in you. I know that. I've met a lot of you guys, right? You guys like to make fun of people. You guys like to uh, do that kind of stuff. Not all of you, right? But there's some of you, right? And to whatever, man. I don't care about a joke or two or whatever. But when you have a serious voice, a serious following online, and then you start disrespecting the people, I'm gonna call it out. I may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable if I throw something on Instagram. Ooh, but that's my boy. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm Paraguayan, dog. This is my people. This is my country. So you know, yeah. And I don't care if they grew up here. If they're acting a fucking fool, I don't call out a fucking fool. And so that's where I stand with that. But getting back to, and again, these are the exceptions, you guys. This is not the rule. The rule is most expats are wonderful. I met a lot of you guys now in person, online, chatted. Some of you guys follow my lives pretty closely. Well, I haven't been going live that much lately, but my videos closely, my life closely, all that good stuff, and I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it. And so again, I knew I was going to be everywhere with this video. But yeah, just wrapping that up is, again, I believe in bringing the right people here, and I think the right people are coming. Like 95% is literally that high for Paraguay. I can't say the same for places for like Colombia. I can't say the same. Maybe even I don't know about Brazil. There's a lot of good guys who go to Brazil, but um, Mexico, for example. I mean, I wouldn't even know what number to put on it of people who have good intentions, who are gonna benefit society rather than go there for degenerate stuff or to hurt people or to create fucked up narratives or whatever. Um. So, anyways, that's where I'm at with that whole ideology, right? And my channel represents that, and that's exactly why I think it's good that I am inviting the correct people who want to be here, and be here well, right? And yeah, so again, I know this is kind of everywhere, a lot of updates, um, and this is cathartic, man. It is. I wanted to do this for a couple days now, but I always find myself doing something, man. Something, even if it's just like I cook for an hour or something. Then I got to clean up, and then again, I'm not trying to complain. It's just life gets to you, right? And I realize, wow, a week passed. It's already the weekend again, or it's already Monday again, right? Um, yeah, but I guess to take this in a more positive light and to close out this very long video. I don't know where we're at because I can't see it. Probably half an hour, maybe longer. I'm gonna keep pushing ahead, you guys, but I'm gonna start doing just what feels right, right? And I may not be meeting up with you guys as much. I may just be doing my own thing. I may actually, just kind of stop making plans because it kind of stresses me out that I have to do this, or I have to, even though I have people over here, I have to make sure everything's all good, and you know, or when I go out, I have to do logistics, and then it's just it can be a lot with everything already going on. And so, in my personal life, but also with this channel, I'm just gonna trust what's right. I kind of went down a rabbit hole of, oh, what works for the algorithm, what this and that, and la 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 la. And it's like I already get a decent amount of views on per video, right? And some of them are in the kind of unexpected ones, even ones like this where I just talk to the camera. which again, I know I'm not showing you Paraguay, and it's kind of maybe kind of boring for some of y'all, but it's just real, man. It's just real, and I'm just gonna go back to being real. It's not like I took a break from being real, but there's certain things that I just kind of like I explained, I just kind of put to the side. I kind of being was on too many other people's timelines, expectations. I kind of started comparing myself again to other people and being on society's expectations. And I haven't even really wanted to come on camera, to be completely honest, because uh, God damn it, what's the word? Uh, I can't even think right now, man. Um, like self image stuff, and so I just been really everywhere up in my mind, you know. Um, but I think that's okay, because I remember at the very beginning when I used to be pretty vulnerable about this stuff. You guys actually really liked it and respected me for it. Um, the people who I still stay in touch with to this day, and I hope that's the case. Like I may be living better in the states, because again, this is my best life Paraguay, and that's not a lie. It is, um, and again, they're hard. Obviously, not everything's 100% good at all times, right? But again, it's comparing where I was at in the states with everything, you know, much better. And I think I'm just gonna trust in just what I need to do. Obviously, strategy, planning, all that stuff. Obviously, I'll hold on to all that. But even just putting a random video out like this, just getting it out there, and also letting you guys. I can count now. I've inspired minimally 5 people to start channels, but now it's turning even more than that. So like I know people are starting channels because it's not because of how good my channel is. I don't have the best lighting. I don't have the best camera. I don't have the best filming techniques. I don't have none of that. It's because you guys see my flaws. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect looking. I don't speak perfectly. I may go off on tangents, and I may not make sense all the fucking time, and I may swear too much or do whatever, you know. Um, but that actually inspires you, because you guys tell me it's like it's not it's some of my imperfections that you guys latch onto. It's like, okay, well, hey, Ryan can do it. He can keep it 100. He can keep the conversation going. Fuck it, let me try. Let me try. You know, it's only blessed Ryan's life. Let me try that. And I say go for it, you guys. With especially with AI coming up, dude. That's like horrific projection numbers for like even 2030, which is what, fucking 5 years from now. Not even like 4 years from now. So many things are going to be automated in AI, and jobs are going to be lost like crazy. This platform is good for authenticity, to get your personal brand out there. That's where I totally align with other YouTubers when it comes to and then even one of the good things I did watch about the all the YouTube uh, benefits and all that stuff is YouTube is arguably going to take over websites in the next. Well, I mean, it's already starting, but the trend is going to continue for the next 5 years. That more people are going to go to YouTube to find your company brand. And also, if you guys don't know, I mean, YouTube now is so good at linking out. Oh, here's my Instagram. Just go to YouTube, and I mean, it's almost like uh, like the one other one that we always used to use that had all the links to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, your website. It's almost like that now, or even better, arguably, because you can go straight to the videos, right? Whether it's short form, long term, or form, whatever. I'm boring you guys again, but point is you got my support. I've even told you guys. Um, I've even told you guys, especially if you want to do something like this, holistic travel stuff. A lot of you guys are way too worried about the equipment part of this, I don't have the right technology. I don't speak the best. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? Look at me. I'm not none of those things, you know. And I learned everything along the way, programs, all that stuff. But just get started, man. Just get started, because you guys got to think about what is this going to be in 10 years, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? What is it going to be in 20 years, 30 years? What's it? What is YouTube going to be for when I'm gone off this earth? I'm glad I had something out there, you know, uh, something, especially when I have kids and hopefully grandkids and all that one day. Um, Even as unpolished as I am, as imperfect as I am, it'll be something for them to go back, because it was actually pretty powerful. I'm forgetting which channel. It doesn't matter. But what this guy said is, what would you pay? What would you pay to see your grandparents, your, let's say a boy, right, for your grandfather? What would you pay to go back into his mind when he was 20, 30, my age, 34 years old, and get his deepest insights about where he's at in life? What would you give for that? A lot, right? And I was like, wow, you know what? That's a hell of a thing. I mean, that's something that money couldn't even. I mean, people would pay millions of dollars if they could go back into times when vlogging wasn't a thing. Being out there, being vulnerable on tape wasn't a thing. Having the platform and the opportunity wasn't a thing. But for our generation, it is, and younger, and well, any age now. The technology is available for anybody, any age. But what would you pay? The answer is there's no price, because it's something so special, right? So no matter what I am or what I'm not, this is testimony, and I guess I'm good with that, and I'm fine with that. And anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up for real now. I just want to thank you guys for following the channel, um, following my life journey, from when I started this channel 2 years ago. You guys seen a lot of failures, successes, uh, collaborations, places I've been, all that good stuff. It's all still relevant, right? Uh, you know, Especially for those who are thinking about doing this, living this life, going down this journey, and you know, so yeah. I guess that's all. That's all I really got for you guys right now. And again, I guess to close out the entire topic, am I burnt out with everything? Kind of, mentally, uh, you know, emotionally, uh, all that stuff. But it's okay. Yeah, I had some self reflection time. I'm not gonna worry about, again, just to recap, but not gonna worry about all everybody's voices in society and the algorithm and all that. I'm just gonna go for what feels right, because that's kind of worked. You know, at least at least this far. So, anyways, you guys, keep it 100. Keep integrity. Keep following the channel. Like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, and I will get back out there to film and then bring you the better, yeah, whatever, filming videos, showing you Paraguay, talking more specifically about Paraguay. I will get into it. I just needed this time to just chill, see where I'm at in life, regroup, get my thoughts back, Um and yeah, so again, this is like my fifth goodbye. Jesus Christ, so unscripted. Okay, anyways, I'm out of here for real. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Have grace for yourselves, no matter where you're at in life, what point. Um, I'll see y'all later. Ryan Aranda, my best life Paraguay. Peace.